Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. Well, it's Move Friday. It's just been a long day. Had a chance to catch up with a friend and just vent some frustrations. Oh, almost have been a frog. That's kind of weird. Just helpful to have friends that you can just vent to. It's strange because it's normally like in life that your peers that you're naturally with are going through the same things that you are. So if you're in high school, your classmates have exams the same time you do, college, you're all single, ready to mingle, taking exams, doing co-ed sports, all going through the same thing, trying to figure out your life together. When you have a job, you're all like doing similar caliber work, whether it's sales, operations, accounting, customer service, like your peer group are doing the same thing. And in general, like just an example, like if you're in customer service, like all of your peers are probably making around the same, living a similar lifestyle, similar, ballpark similar, and you're going through similar stressors, maybe different generations, but for the most part, they're similar. When you're a business owner, or even like at church, you're kind of in the same spiritual mindset, believing the same things, you're probably a lot more like spread out because some people will be business owners, some will be old, some will be young, white, black, everything in between. So like at a church or like your religious gatherings, it's probably gonna be the most differentiated relatively. When you own a business, who do you go to when you're dealing with stress or pressure or things are going really well or really poorly? Like no one's gonna get the same dynamic that you're operating within. You can't go to your employees, you can't go to your customers, can't go to your vendors, can't go to your competitors because they'll just see you as an open target. And your peers, like who are your peers? Other business owners? If you're rather similar, like you got to have some things in common. If you own like a tire, won't do a tire shop. Let's just stick with a gym. If you own a gym, you can talk to other gym owners. But like a karate studio versus a kickboxing studio versus a Snap Fitness versus a Lifetime, they're going to have, completely different challenges. Different caliber customer, different floor mat struggles, different class plan issues, different kind of staff. Someone who works at Lifetime is very different than someone who works at like a Snap Fitness. It's just a different individual with a different phase of life in general as a base assumption. And so who do you go to when finances feel tight, customers are demanding, staff members are not on board with a new initiative, someone is sick? Like, who do you go to? And that's probably one of the trickiest parts because you never know, like, it's hard to know what's real versus in your head. And for better or worse, and my staff know this, so this isn't a surprise, but a lot of people are a fan of my head GM. There's a handful of people that are an anti-fan of my head GM. And the higher up you go, the more opinionated people are about that person. I haven't heard it to my face, but I'm sure people have a lot of opinions about me. Well, I've heard it from indirect people of Nathan doesn't do this, Nathan ignores that, Nathan takes forever to do this, just all sorts of things. And so for my GM, I'm sure he's catching slack on some things. My shift leads, I'm sure they catch some slack on a few things. My instructors catch slack because of how they handle classes. And how do members catch flack? Like who's critiquing members? No one. Because you're on the bottom of that triangle of authority in the business. And so it's tough because it's hard to know like who to reach out to. And so for better or worse, the person I've been reaching out to is just personal friends. Folks that I've known since childhood. Folks that I've known from my church for a handful of years. Folks that like have no skin in the game of what I'm going through, and they can be a sounding board for a reason. So like, I was talking with one of them a handful of weeks ago about just like a work situation. I didn't know how to handle it. I said, well, handle it this way. Your boss will see it this way. This person will see it that way. Try to take this approach, and I bet it'll be okay. And that helps because he's works in a completely different industry, very not in my little bubble, and his advice was stellar. It was spot on, exactly what was needed. And these friends are not business owners. They're all they're all employees, either managers or directors, but they're leading and working with people, trying to up-level people, quote unquote, beneath them. They've got their own goals that they have given to them. So they're in a similar boat. And I don't want to say it's lonely at the top, because it sounds so arrogant. I don't feel like I'm at the top. But the number of people that you can have like straight up conversations with and say, really, like, here's what's going on. Here's where I'm struggling. Here's the actual issue and everything in between that's going on in this scenario. You can't do that. You can't do that with many people. And I'm seeing the value of having those solid friendships and nurturing those, because I've nurtured them over time. Not as many as I should have, I'll admit, but that's something that's really helping me make it through the current phase, where it's just it feels like there's some sort of like big secret that like no one's telling me about at the business. I don't know what it is, but like some instructors are saying things about other instructors. Some members are saying things about instructors. Instructors are saying things about members. People are saying things about the manager. People are saying things about me. And like, there's one or two instructors that are saying like, hey, I'm taking a break. Just so you know, several other people are looking to take a break. And it's not because of A or B or C. I'm like, okay, well, what is it about? I'm like, let's meet in person. I'll tell you there. It's like, guys, come on. If you're wanting to see the studio thrive, I'm here. I'm not doing the 40, 50 hours a week at the gym that my manager is. The previous owner was probably at the studio 20 hours a week, 30, I don't know. But like, it seems like there's either like a lack of trust or some sort of like lack of transparency. I mean, they're probably the same. But there's just some sort of like disconnect, and people are bringing up struggles and frustrations, but I don't know what to do with it. Like one example, one instructor said there's just a lack of general direction and a lack of communication with the instructors. So, all right, well, let's work on that. You know, what does that look like? And they probably need to know who the list of new attendees are so that they can learn to greet them and keep an eye out for them. So awesome. Yeah, we've got this system in place. Let's do that. Let's bring this back. Awesome. What else can we be working on? I feel like this is really helpful. And there's nothing. And that's probably on me to go investigate, find out what the issues are, what the troublemakers are, what are the root underlying issues, and figure it out. It's like when you talk to, I'm married, so I won't say my girlfriend. I guess I could, but when you're talking to your spouse or your girlfriend, and you're like, we just seem off right now. I'm like, oh man, I hope that's not the case. You know, what do we do to fix it? Like, yeah, I don't know. So it's like, okay, so you're saying there's a problem. It's up to me to fix it, but nobody knows what the solution is. So how do you work with that? How do you progress forward? How do you improve that relationship, that operating system, and really work as a team? I don't know. I really don't know. And so, like, just saying these things out loud to a friend is really helpful. I've paused publishing podcasts because I want to give myself time to catch back up. I've been recording a lot less lately. And I don't know. Right now, we bought the studio early August. Right now it's end of July. Or no, early October. It's only 10 months. We're not even at a year right now. Like, we haven't even had our 1-year birthday. And this has been the journey. So I'm going for a walk tonight. I'm going to do another workout. Catch up with an instructor that I believe can help shoot me straight, tell me what's going on, what they're seeing. And then going to a guy's bonfire tonight at my church. I think I just need to be around other people and not isolate and get lost in my own thoughts. So, I don't know. That's a walking voice memo for today. It's just hard to know like who to vent to, how to work things out loud, how to get a grasp on what's going on, and how to have a functional, thriving business. It's tricky when there's a lack of communication or trust. I feel like I'm a pretty trustworthy person, but it feels like I'm not coming across that way. I need to ponder on how to work on that. All right, well, that's the end of the walk. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Let's rock and roll. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.